Oh, so I get what you're saying. We'll come up on there.
Come on, start showing up. Should show up soon. Okay, come on, come on.
Hey, it's Callie.
Hi, Callie.
But our thing says offline.
Yeah, I know.
Callie, can you hear me though? There's usually like a 6-second delay.
Yeah, but it's noise.
Is your webcam thingamadoo on?
No, it's on. They should see what we see here.
But it's not mirroring over there.
No, I don't know why.
Yeah. No.
Still says offline. Why is this not working? Come on, come on. There we go. We're up.
Sky Viper.
What? Oh, it's an ad.
But I think it's going to put us up.
It should work.
Are we sponsored by this drone video game?
Twitch advertises.
Look, that's us.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, look. It looks like my arm is cut off.
Okay.
Are you halfway in the thing too? I think you are.
No, I should be. You're loud and clear, safely in the interrogation room.
Yes, the interrogation room.
Okay. All right. We should be good to go then. All right. This is just gonna bother me looking at ourselves talking on a very delayed deal. Okay. So let's start. Hello and welcome to Beyond the Shield, a conversational podcast about the ABC show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm your host, Adam Wells. With me, as always, is
Mitra, son of Nell.
this week is our 100th episode of Beyond the Shield, and we are live streaming right now on Twitch. For the listeners at home, we advertise this to you. You should have been watching, unless you just like audio-only discussions of things.
We have viewers though, Adam. We have viewers right now.
We do.
All those times I said viewers, it's finally true.
It's been true before.
But they weren't viewing our podcast. It was just audio.
No, there was that one time.
Well, yeah, one time. That was one time, Adam.
Well, this is the second time.
So it's true. It's our 100th episode. We haven't done this since, hi, Trey, OMG, since season 2, actually, right? Because
Yeah.
that was when we did it for my birthday a couple years ago. So it's good to be back. Good to be in the honeycomb room. And oh my goodness, this is great. Peeps are actually on here.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
this week we'll be discussing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode Deals with Our Devils. If this is your first time listening to Beyond the Shield, know that we spoil everything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe up to and including this week's entry into the MCU. So the movies, the Netflix shows, the one-shots, and of course the ABC shows like Agent Carter, R.I.P., and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So first we're going to get to some news. We've been off a little bit, so there's a couple news stories we have to get to. I think the biggest one is there's going to be an Inhumans TV show next fall on ABC. IMAX seems to be partially funding it, and it'll be the first TV show actually shot in IMAX, and it'll premiere in IMAX theaters, and then to follow, it'll be a short run. I don't know what this means for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., whether Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will start later in the year, and Inhumans will kind of be the fall, because it sounds like it was only like an 8-episode limited series. So we have that to look forward to next fall. We finally I don't know if this replaces the Inhumans film on the MCU roster or not. That's kind of yet to be seen. Also, Angela Bassett, the Academy Award nominated actress. She was nominated for What's Love Got to
Yes.
Do with It? She will be in Black Panther. I think the list of actors of color is becoming who's not in Black Panther rather than who is in Black Panther.
Yeah. It's going to be an amazing movie.
Because everyone seems to want to be in this movie or either already in this movie. Since we're broadcasting on Twitch, again, thank you for teaching. Thank you for tuning in. This is most people watch a lot of video games on Twitch. I don't know if you ever watched Twitch, Mitra.
No, I literally have never used Twitch, except this is my second time on Twitch, so it's not my first rodeo with Twitch. This is my second rodeo with Twitch, and it's typically for streaming a video game, so
Right.
I don't know if we're a video game, but this is awesome. Hi, Jason. Hi, Callie. This is great. If you're joining us, thank you for being here. Type whatever you want in the chat box. This is really one of the main points of even doing it on here, so people can, make their voices part of the conversation.
And since this is a video gaming broadcasting platform, Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is happening. So we can have characters from Resident Evil face off against Marvel characters. I don't know. They haven't announced anything beyond that it's happening. I predict we'll find out more this weekend at PlayStation Experience, which I will be at.
Yes.
And I will be able to report back next week.
I'm really excited for you to be at PlayStation Experience. I know it's in some other part of the country, so
Anaheim, California. Actually, it's in the most magical place because it's right across the street from Disneyland. So I get Disney and video games in one weekend.
So you'll be in like the most not realistic environment.
Yeah, basically. All artificially created either in Disneyland or at the Anaheim Convention Center. The last bit of news, it's not MCU related, but I did want to touch upon it. Deadpool 2 has a new director.
Deadpool.
No, not Deadpool. Deadpool. Deadpool is what happens when a dead person.
I don't want to know. It's all a part of nothing that matters right now.
You brought it up. So Deadpool 2 lost its director, it was the director of the first one, Tim Miller. It's now David Leitch, who directed the Keanu Reeves hit movie John Wick. Did you see John Wick?
No, never saw that.
I didn't see John Wick. I didn't see John Wick either. Oh, we're kind of out of focus. Our broadcast is not doing well.
It's Ultron.
Why can't it get back into focus? Come on. We're very out of focus.
I think we went into another dimension, and no one can see.
Plane.
No one can see or hear us, and everything is sepia tone right now. That's what I'm assuming happened.
You switched dimensions. We totally did.
Yeah, see? Our viewers can still see us.
It comes back. It looks good on here. I don't know why it doesn't look good here.
If our viewers can still see us, does that mean that they're also androids?
Maybe.
Hey,
okay,
we're back.
It. Awesome. The green screen is showing. So, okay. Hey. Okay, I'm just trying to...
Someone's talking about John Wick in the chat.
Yeah, John Wick is what?
I think they were replying to something you said.
All right. Well, I'm really bad at reading chat because I have notes to do. So, let's talk about the episode Deals with Our Devils. This was an episode that we had to wait a long time for. A lot happened. Doctor Strange came out. Doctor Strange came out. The Cubs won the World Series, and I think there was one other thing that happened.
Yeah, I don't know what it was though. Just
I kind of blacked out that night.
Yeah.
It might have been drunkenness. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was something.
Something.
So, but let's talk about Deals with Our Devils. So, this show did something that I kind of enjoyed, which was it did the kind of like two dimensions thing, which I thought I was gonna hate when they started doing it. I was like, okay, I kind of like this, mostly because of Sepia Tone World, which I'm gonna call that.
Sepia Tone.
We've never seen Sepia Tone World before, but now it's a thing. And I don't know, Mitra, what did you enjoy about this episode?
Well, I guess I enjoyed that this episode pulled out all the stops in like every regard, and I feel like every episode to this point in this season, they've sort of opened something up and then they put it away. And they keep doing that, right? They keep opening up the Ada plot and they put it away. And they're like, here's Ghost Rider. And then they're sort of like putting it to the side. And in this episode, I really felt like they just floored it. Like from Mac actually flooring it and driving himself out of the Quinjet while being possessed by Ghost Rider to Ada coming off the shelf, right? And becoming instrumental to the plot. All of that was amazing. The other thing I liked that it did was I felt like they're directly drawing on the Doctor Strange world and bringing it into the show. And so I'll pause on that because I have more to say about it. But I felt like they made clear references to that in this episode, and it was very much it seemed very intentional by design to get that. Yeah, to just like stagger the episodes so that it would do it that way. So there's so many things I could say, obviously, but yeah. What about you?
No, I was tweeting a second screen experience. Hashtag second.
Also, while we're waiting for Adam, I mean, what did you all think of the episode? Just start typing a stream of your thoughts, and if there's anything that you want to specifically talk about in this episode, you should also type it in because we can talk about pretty much anything you all want. Since this is an interactive group hangout for our 100th episode of Beyond the Shield. But yeah, tell us what you think about the pressing issue of book access for secret androids, because that was another issue that this show is very passionate about and did advocacy on.
So while the chat catches up. So another thing I liked about this episode is it showed that the rider can transfer, and I like the little nod of that it went to someone riding a motorcycle.
Oh my gosh.
It was like he became Johnny Blaze. Mac became Johnny Blaze for a moment. The other thing I really liked is now I think just about everyone knows Ada is an android except Daisy and Mac. I think that's
I think that's true.
yeah. So let's see, what else do we got? And then
What's a clip show? Jason says, thank you for not doing a clip show.
so what he's referencing is anytime the Simpsons would get to milestones,
Oh.
and other TV shows would do this too, they would do a clip show. And it would be a much cheaper way to do an episode where you would see clips of previous episodes. We could have done that. I just think it'd be more work than it's worth. Android Doctor Strange better than Bandicoot Cabbage
What is
Patch
Karthik
Strange.
even talking about?
Android Doctor Strange.
I think he's making fun of Benedict Cumberbatch's name by calling
Oh.
him Bandicoot Cabbage Patch. Let's read some of the. So a thing ago, Callie got lost on the stream there. She said, Sepia Tone world, the opposite of Hive's blue world. Totally true. Suddenly wanting Melinda and Phil to get together. Retweet.
They won't.
Retweet,
get
though.
together.
I'm so invested. Trey says, so good. I'm totally shipping Mac and Robbie now. Oh my god, I can't. Mac and Robbie ship. Ada came through in a big way. Agree. One of my favorite parts of this episode was Ada. We have a strange comment from Kakarala Actual about Android Doctor Strange. That must be some kind of weird malfunction. I'm sure it was just like a computer glitch. Callie, Mac becoming Ghost Rider makes me wonder about real estate prices in hell. This is a comment exclusively for Karthik and Mitra. Alrighty. So, mortgage fanfic continues. Doctor Strange Ultron Rockefeller BX 357. Yes. Yes. Doctor Strange Ultron.
Sure.
So accurate.
So, okay, let's break down this episode. So, we got everyone is Coulson and more importantly Fitz find out that Mace and Senator Nadir are kind of working together, but Fitz wasn't able to fully expose Mace because Simmons appears because Simmons went to go work on Senator Nadir's brother, which I don't understand why a group full of scientists couldn't figure out how to hatch his cocoon when Simmons doesn't do anything that miraculous. She puts a heart monitor on him and calms him down.
Right.
Why did that require Simmons to be taken out of the SHIELD office /jet to this secret location to hatch Senator Nadir's brother in a cocoon.
Well, so let's back up. So the Terrigenesis person comes back. Terrigenesis person was early on featured in an episode where Senator Nadir was like talking to she was in her apartment or something, and then there was Terrigenesis guy. And then we kind of didn't see him again. He's like a statue that they say hi to. Then they bring him back, and Adam was like, "Isn't that Senator Nadir's brother?" And I said, "Yeah." Is it her brother? And I don't know how we inferred that it's her brother. Did she call them brother dear? Is that why we?
Well, because
she had something like brother?
She had the cocoon. Yeah, and she basically talks to the cocoon and says she's at her brother's place.
Well, so she talks to the
because we had this whole discussion of like how is she keeping the brother's like place around if he's like not out earning money.
Right. So at any rate, senators do get paid a lot though if you're a U.S. senator. So that's probably not that.
Wouldn't know anything about. I wouldn't know anything about.
Well, at any rate, topic for another podcast. So fast forward to they bring in Gemma Simmons in pretty rude fashion with a bag over her head, like rude. And yes, per the chat, abiding by the rule of only 3 scientists are competent in the whole MCU at a time. One of them, which is Gemma Simmons, it's Gemma's turn to be a competent scientist. There are only German scientists now. Bleak, Jason, fun and bleak. So, and the Hydra intern scientist, yes, to Callie's point. So Gemma basically just has a nice chat with the Terrigen statue. Just, it's gonna be okay.
Like Dr. Phil could have almost
handled this. This thing has been in 7 months of stasis out of like the heart, whatever. Then moving through that though, the point I'm trying to get to is that, dare I say, we have a new actor of color on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. who is now Genesis. See, you showed me a dumb advertisement and I lost my train of thought.
No, it's not an advertisement.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I was in the middle of it.
Just read it.
I still don't get it. Spooky Mac?
Spicy meets saucy, Sriracha Big Mac.
Is that an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. joke?
Yeah.
Do you want to show it to the audience?
I don't know if it'll work.
Just hold it up there and see if they can see it.
Oh, yeah, they can see it. They can see it. It's backwards. It might be backwards for them, but yeah.
Well, anyway, what I was saying is that before you derailed me with your random product placement, Adam.
It wasn't product placement.
Is there a Daisy male actor on S.H.I.E.L.D. now? Is that what's happening? Because if this person is Senator Nadir's brother, then that's what it looked like was happening when he came out of the... Anyway, so TBD on that, but really cool if that's the case. I'm so excited. And now, the accompanying thing that Adam feels like showing you is a picture of...
No, they have already seen that.
Yeah, it's coming up on the screen, so now I'm just narrating what's happening.
I might just put a sheet over the thing.
Well, I can't see what the chats are.
No, it'll be just over the video.
Whatever, it's fine.
Okay.
So, someone just typed a blank. That's awesome. You're up.
Okay. Well... Okay, I need organizational skills. I feel like Tim Geddes. Now I understand what Tim Geddes feels when he's on podcasts. So the Darkhold got another mention, and Ada is chosen to read it, and she just sees binary, which I thought was brilliant, because the book speaks to the reader. And so, of course, the book is going to speak to Ada in the language she knows best, which is 0000111.
Totally.
And she builds the portal. Now, I can't pinpoint if this is like a Doctor Strange connection or not. I know it looks like Doctor Strange. I don't think it is a Doctor Strange connection, though. I know it's like orange, but it doesn't have the same feel of the Doctor Strange magic.
I think that it is. Here's what I think.
Okay.
I think that Darkhold and the books are obviously clearly... I'm just I cannot deal with the bag over my head Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sidebar going on. So please carry on. I'm so not able to. So leading up to it, there's the books, right? The magic books. There's Darkhold. Then in the movie Doctor Strange, if you've seen it, this isn't a spoiler, but there are other books like that. It very much looks like the books in their library, guarded by Wong. And then the magic that they use is similarly like glowing gold, linear.
But it doesn't have the sparks coming off.
Yes,
of
it does. It totally does.
It looks.
It has the sparks coming off it. And then what they did was what Ada did, and the scientist, Dr. Radcliffe, was they created a portal that was very reminiscent of the same type of portal that they made in Agent Carter. Remember? They made some kind of gateway thing there.
Yeah.
And also, this is so not the same thing, but they did also make an interdimensional gateway in Big Hero 6. So clearly another influence on this episode was Big Hero 6. Then she was weaving together, like, you know how in Doctor Strange they had a sling ring and it was like an actual gold ring?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that what they did was they engineered a sling ring or a pair of them for Ada on her hands. That's what the gloves that she was wearing were. So she has basically like, you know, whatever the equivalent is.
A scientific sling ring.
She has scientific, yes. And then she was using it to create more magic relics, or I don't know what the right word is, but by the end of the episode, she's like weaving a brain, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, it is a Doctor Strange reference. And
Right.
lastly, P.S. I want to know if people are even listening to this, if you thought it was like clearly a tie-in to Doctor Strange 2. Because Coulson looked like he was getting sucked into the mirror realm. And it looked like the mirror realm was trying to pull him in.
It was like a darker mirror realm.
Yeah,
though,
it was. But it, like the fracturing of the
light.
glass and the light in the plane that he was getting sucked into looked just like the mirror realm. Maybe it was Dormammu's realm on the other side reaching through. Weaving a brain as you do. I'm sorry. The comments are really funny right now. Yes, as one does, weaving a brain. And now she has little sling rings and she makes brains with them. Okay, Adam?
Okay.
Doy. This is like, come on. On the plane of things that are normal on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this is like a 5.
What do you mean a 5?
Like 10, I don't know. I confused myself with the scale that I just came up with. But it's pretty standard, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Also, I felt like they tried at the end to make it seem like Ada was becoming evil, but I don't think that she is. I think they were just faking us out. Callie says they should replace Ada with Baymax. That's amazing. Adam has chimed in on the Baymax comment.
I got to chat with the chat.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
great.
to multitask here, Mitra.
That's great.
I'm running a production over here. I'm talking to the audience here. I'm checking my notes on my phone. This is a lot. So
What's a numby? Never mind.
I don't.
I'm making fun of someone's typo.
I don't know. But okay. So I was as you were talking, Mitra. I was on that.
Tuning out and not listening at all?
No, I was on Reddit just trying to confirm your theory.
What did they say? What did the Reddit streets say?
Someone did confirm your theory.
Confirmed it.
Ada built a sling ring. Best movie tie-in yet.
Yes, right? And this is what I'm saying is...
So here's my question. Because of the election, I wonder if they used that because the last time they did
movie tie-in since Captain
a movie
America.
tie-in since what, Winter Soldier?
Yes,
in
literally
season 2?
what Rockefeller BX357 just said. This is the biggest movie tie-in since Captain America. Exactly.
What, the prediction of robots falling from the sky? That wasn't a good enough movie tie-in.
The other quote-unquote tie-ins were like I don't know, barely.
No,
right?
Thor 2. I have a ticket stub to prove that it's called Thor 2.
Well, okay. But what
Thor
is the
2,
tie-in?
Thor 2's tie-in was like they cleaned up everything that was left by like the whole like Battle of the Aether. That was that tie-in. And then like Coulson says like I hate cleaning up Thor's mess or whatever like that. And then the next one would have been Winter Soldier, and then Avenger. I think I'm missing one.
Basically, here's what I think. When the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. move forward together as one, it is a glorious thing.
It is.
It is a glorious thing. It makes us feel like we're part of the bigger world and not just over here on Weird People Island, which is what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. increasingly is. It's increasingly Weird People Island. and it's always like moored over here by itself. And to see this intentional before and after of Doctor Strange coming out of like, I mean, remember how I predicted like they're just gonna do ghosts and then it'll be all over with and it'll all just sort of get neatly dealt with in one thing.
I mean, it will be immediately dealt with, possibly in a future episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but we can't say much more than that.
Well, at any rate, I appreciate that they seem to be intentionally taking the new direction of Doctor Strange even further through their show and invoking the magic that's being used and all that. So that's something that I'm really excited about. And Weird People Summer Camp. Jason has come up with another good. Well, I can't tell if that's a comment about our podcast or about the actual show.
No.
Agents
You got to
of
follow the
S.H.I.E.L.D.
conversation. See, okay, there's some Norse wreckage janitors of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's a reference to the Thor 2 tie-in. No, you mean Damage Control. Damage Control was a show that was in development at ABC and is apparently still in development, but I don't know what stage it is, but it was supposed to be like another Marvel TV show that was going to be on ABC. Not Marvel's Most Wanted. This was like in development before that was even brought up. Before even Agent Carter, like at the start of season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is when Damage Control kind of like started kind of making news, making the rounds. So that is what the Damage Control. And so Weird People Summer Camp might have been Damage Control and Norse Wreckage.
I think they're making fun of Inhuman Summer Camp by calling us Weird People Summer Camp.
Maybe. I mean, we are
whatever. You're all weird too. We're all at the summer camp together.
Rockefeller BX has an interesting comment where after watching Batman v Superman on HBO made me appreciate this episode even more because Marvel's tie-ins can be better than DC's tie-ins.
Yeah, I thought it was because Wonder Woman's gold lasso looks kind of like the Doctor Strange lasso, but I think you're probably more right.
Ghost Rider Development Hell. I love that. So, what else happened in this episode? So we covered Simmons. We didn't talk about Sepia Tone World as much as how it interacted. So Ada can hear and can sense them. I don't know if she can necessarily hear them because Ada didn't respond directly to them. Other than like saying, it's like, yeah, I can read it. But then like at the same time, the conversation that May and Radcliffe were saying is like, yeah, I can read it. So I don't like, she can sense they're there.
So she can sense them, but she can't hear them.
I think.
But she could see, but I think she can. I think she can completely tune into everything they're doing.
Then why didn't she directly respond to them?
I think she was just sort of like accessing it. Her processors were getting up and running.
Okay.
That's why that was.
So, and then
Dr. Radcliffe sang a song to himself.
And then Mac Ryder, as I'm going to call him, he was able, when he was kind of like possessed, he was able to see Robbie. Probably able to see Fitz and Coulson, just didn't care because he wasn't possessed that long when he was on the Quinjet. What else about Sepia Tone World? Oh, and Eli could see them.
Did you like how they kept doing the first pass through and then Sepia Tone World?
Yeah,
I thought it was so cool.
I talked about that at the beginning of the episode.
And also like a learning tool for me because I sort of, if things go by me the first time, I miss them a lot, and so I was like, oh, cool.
People who
People
who are paying attention to this, what you just said is really funny because I said how I really enjoyed that at the start of this episode.
This is like Sepia Tone World now.
Yeah.
We're having the same conversation.
You're having the same conversation that we started with.
I know I'm not the only one though.
Maybe. I mean, I'm keeping track of the conversation on like many screens.
Okay, well, I'm watching the chat.
And you have your phone. You haven't really got on your phone. So, what else? Senator Nadir apparently has power over Mace because she just hung up on him. In that when we're in Sepia Tone World, but we go to Jeffrey Mace's office, and Jeffrey Mace is on the phone with Senator Nadir, and Senator Nadir hangs up on Jeffrey Mace.
Yeah.
So then Mace doesn't find out where Simmons is.
Yeah. And why do they have to put a bag over Simmons' head?
Because they can't.
Yes, Jason,
she can't know where she is. She can't know where she is. So that's why. Because then they take her. They'll probably put a bag over her head again when she leaves.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens with the person that they break out of the Terrigenesis shell, and then
Brother Nadir.
Yes.
Can we call him Brother Nadir?
Yes,
Okay.
brother. Yes.
Because I'm assuming he has the same last name. Because Senator Nadir does not seem to be married. She didn't. I don't think she had any. She had a
I don't know.
wedding ring on.
I thought for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe at some point she said my brother or something or other. I don't know.
She said my brother.
Okay, so I'm whatever.
We know we've established that's her brother.
But then, like, what is his power going to be? You know, that's probably another Inhuman. That's another superpower that
so
they're bringing
far,
into the show.
so far, his only power is to stay in cocoons for 7 months. So, hibernation is his superpower.
The other thing that is being set up is that Eli is so Robbie's Tio has become what I think has been confirmed as Molecule Man.
Yes.
Robbie's Tio is on the loose now and can make things out of carbon and stab people with it, make walls out of carbon, etc. And so now Robbie is convinced that he has to go after his uncle, which I feel is a bit harsh because, you know, we all have that one relative. So is there another alternative besides putting him on the vengeance list? I don't know. At any rate.
No, Eli.
That's kind of tough.
Uncle Eli is probably going to die next week. Because this is his one.
I think they're both going to die. I think that they're going to get rid of Robbie next week.
That's true. We haven't seen Gabrielle Luna in a lot of behind-the-scenes Instagram photos or videos recently.
I'm just really concerned.
But we did see Yo-Yo. It was like the actress who plays Yo-Yo's birthday.
Yeah, Natalia Cordova.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo Cordova on that Instagram.
What is Moon Girl's power? I don't know what it is.
Still a veteran of the Moon Girls. She can talk to the moon.
You can't be in a cocoon for 4 years. It's not allowed. Sorry. Unless it's like a Pokeball and I can summon you back at any point. Unless that's what you mean by a cocoon.
We'll just summon or choose. No, that we choose them. We would choose you, Kakarala, on Tuesdays.
I choose you.
We would choose
Deploy.
you on Tuesdays, and then you can come back to the Pokeball.
I'm Mr. Penguin Von Penguin. Thank you for stopping in.
The thing they use.
This is a heart sign for you.
Oh, he's a Twitch. Oh, who is this? Who is Mr. Penguin?
I don't know.
Penguin.
Your Twitch bestie.
Sure.
One of our viewers.
I mean, they're a Twitch Prime subscriber, so they're like a super Twitch viewer.
I don't even know what a super Twitch viewer is. That sounds
super Twitch
major.
viewer. They pay Twitch, so when they stream, they don't get ads. When they stream, they get kind of like promoted. Yeah. So, thank you, Mr. Penguin Von Penguin. Other thing I wanted to say. They use this clip a lot to promote like the clip of Gabe talking about how Robbie's gone. Like I like that he finally realizes how much he cares about his brother, but that he took like a disappearing act to happen. But luckily Robbie comes back at the end through the portal, which I thought was a little like, how does he get there? Does he like ride in the car? Oh, and I just realized the car is going to self-heal now.
So
after all of Daisy's damage
I think it's so funny that I thought it was so funny. Well, okay, backing up. So one of the things I love about Daisy's personality is that she's always saying weird little things to herself. Like, it's just a scientifically impossible self-healing car.
No,
see, keeps going.
I'm going to bring a different perspective to this. She is an only child.
So
Orphan,
she talks to
even.
herself?
Yeah, I am an only child, and I talk to myself a lot in my younger years.
I love
Sometimes
this.
in my adult years.
I didn't even put that together until you
Yeah,
said that.
she's an only child.
That was clutch.
Even
So-
worse, she was like an orphan, so it's like, of course she talks to herself. She doesn't have any friends.
So Daisy just keeps saying weird things to herself.
Yeah. Actually, she's done this all throughout the series.
No, that's what I'm saying. She's
Yeah.
always been like that.
You've never noticed
so
it's because she's an only child?
Well, I've never thought about it that way. But what I'm trying to say is that her character, among many other reasons why I love her character, one of them is like this. That's a very human like tick to me, you know, to just randomly talk to yourself. Another only child agrees that they also talk to themselves. See, you and Karthik and Daisy are
Also,
just, muttering people summer camp.
Also, I have to shout out to Mr. Penguin Von Penguin. He's a kind of funny best friend. He missed it earlier, but I don't know if you were here earlier, Mr. Penguin Von Penguin, but I made a Tim Geddes reference because I'm constantly on my phone in this episode. Continue, Mitra.
Well, I love the amount of people in the chat right now admitting to talking to themselves. I just love that. And then, Jason's admitting to talking to a Kakarala android that only he could see. So there's just a lot of people living their truth right now in the chat box. You know what? I don't have the, rationale that I'm an only child because I'm the oldest of 3 children and I talk to myself all the time.
So what's your excuse?
That's what I'm saying. That's just how I am. But what I love is that Daisy is talking to herself in the car, and Robbie is in his car that Daisy is driving, and is just like, "Girl, you are not messing with my car right now." She's just like, "It's fine. It'll heal itself." He's in the passenger seat, like, "You can't even see me, and you're rooting my car. This is one of my worst nightmares." And then what happened when, I might have to rewatch this to understand it, but when she was in the car, Robbie was like trying to get her to hear something, and then she turned on her phone and was listening, and then she seemed to have a revelation. What happened? Did she suddenly tune into a frequency where she heard him?
She was listening to the police radio.
Oh.
And then when Robbie hits the dashboard, it knocks the turn signal into flashing left. So that's how she got that.
Oh.
But she was listening to a police radio on her phone, trying to figure out like where the Chinese might be in case there was like an attack or a reported attack.
Oh.
But then Robbie hits the dashboard.
And he actually has impact on the dashboard?
Somehow, yeah.
And then because she's like tuned into people, right? Remember she was the first one who said they're not really dead?
Yeah. But her reasoning for that is different, is because she knows what loss is like because of Lincoln. And she didn't feel that loss. That kind of like inner loss.
So she had an instinct about it.
Yeah.
Also, Karthik says the car heard him, which I think is also really plausible because...
Possibly, but I like my rationale.
Well, I think it's both.
Maybe.
Why wouldn't it be both?
But the car wasn't possessed at that point. It was just a car.
Yeah, but it knows he's in there. Don't you think?
No. Because it's not possessed.
But he's there. It's his car.
I don't think so.
Do you like how I argued back at your point with my original point?
You can try.
It just is. That's just my opinion.
That's the extent of your argument.
Yeah, well, everything is allowed now apparently, so it's fine. But it's funny how there's good character humor between Daisy and Robbie. There's great moments between Phil and May, right? I think that Coulson and May are going to get together.
No.
Yes.
They've been through way too much.
I think it's finally going to happen. I think it's now the only logical who could take care of each other like they could.
Why can't people just be single?
They can.
I think that's what they're going to do.
Just be single forever together.
Yep.
Okay. Well, at any rate,
not every male-female relationship needs to end up in a relationship.
No.
You have been semi-brainwashed by other TV shows to think everyone needs to be in a relationship on TV. Why can't Phil and May have this very understanding?
I don't dispute anything you just said. I will say, and it's not even in disagreement with you. People are really upset about that. Like, let's just let them be close friends. They can just be close friends. They can be all those things. People are so upset about this. Okay, well, at any rate, I'm just saying, officially, I am saying that I'm open to it. I also think it's fine if they stay good friends and, defy all the norms of, intense heteronormativity and blah that, like, you're describing. Callie coming in afterward, like, but the thing is, everyone's so opinionated about this. I guess I'm getting derailed because the chat is so distracting in like the most fun way.
This is a very hot
topic. Okay. Here's
Shield
to your
fans.
point. This has nothing to do with Shield, but one time Shield said Shield Hogwarts, so now I have my tie-in. Okay. In Harry Potter, they have Ron, Harry, and Hermione as a trio of friends, and then
2 of them end up together.
Ron and Hermione end up together, but it's never like this disruptive thing to their triad friendship. It's like 3 people can be platonic friends, and then 2 of them can also get together, and then the third one is cool with it because it's not like automatically a love triangle. That was my read of Harry Potter, so that's another example I can think of.
As someone who isn't into the Potter universe, because I don't have time for that. So you're telling me this Harry, Hermione, Ron Triforce never had a love triangle awkwardness going on ever?
I am 95% sure they never did.
Chat, I'm sure someone.
If anyone else can corroborate that in the Harry Potter fandom, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
I'm pretty sure there was
I
some
guess
drama
I'm just
at
trying to
some
give
point.
a supporting point to your point. I'm very much in favor of healthy portrayals of, opposite gender friendships too.
Okay.
So I'm just saying I wouldn't be mad if it became, a non-platonic relationship.
I think it's going to stay strictly platonic.
All right. Well, we just had to get that whole talk out of our system.
I mean, I just think Phil and May are very professional in that they don't date coworkers.
Is that even true? Phil got into a relationship with Rosalind Price, who was like the head of the agency.
Not a direct agent.
So there can be interagency relationships, not
intra-agency
relationships.
If May goes to another agency, the only exception
May
would be
was married to Dr. Garner, who was the in-house psychologist.
I think he became that after the fact. I don't know.
What? I don't understand Callie's comment. Then we can heat up our s'mores with their flaming heads. I'm reading it completely out of context.
Yeah, because someone said they're all ghostwriters.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And someone much earlier said, if you are a ghostwriter, you're really good at making s'mores. Because you could just, heat it on your head.
Well,
it could be like...
I just want to keep it on time because we've got about, 20 more minutes max?
Ish.
Then we got to roll? Okay. Yes, Karthik with the receipts. That's just like his entire life. I want to know anyway.
What
the and how did Rosalind end up? Oh.
Yeah, she died.
He has a point. You know what, everyone? Fine. Your lobbying worked. Organizing works. I'm going to back off my stance that Phil and May should be a thing. I'm switching my policy position from pro to neutral. That was the result of your advocacy, and I want you all to know that your voice matters. And that we, as your representatives on Beyond the Shield, will respond and listen to our constituents.
Sure.
So thank you for talking me through it.
So I switched my position earlier on saying this was a direct Doctor Strange. You switched your position on Felinda.
See? We're like so responsive to our constituents.
I know. Much better than some other representatives.
Much better than some other representatives. Some other representatives.
I just want to see how long we can get without actually directly mentioning it. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the picture that Mac is holding that says Hope 4/18/2006. I don't understand what that is. Is Hope a former lover? Is Hope someone in Robbie's world? Who is Hope? What is Hope? And what is the significance of 4/8/06? 4/18/06? That's what I want to know. That is a question I don't think they'll ever actually answer.
It's got to be a person because he said Mac lost hope. When Ghost Rider went into Mac, he said he lost hope. And we thought that he was just saying, oh, yeah, Mac's been on Shield Force for 4 seasons now, so he's a little jaded.
He hasn't been on there for 4 seasons. He's been there maybe 2.
2.5 now, basically. What was I saying? I totally forgot my sentence. Oh, Hope. I think it's a person. And I think that there's some figure in Mac's past we've never known about till now.
So then, probably sometime next year, we'll get a Mac-centric episode with flashbacks. Maybe Mac will have hair in those flashbacks.
Flash Max?
Flash Max, yeah. Flash Mac Rider. So...
He lost his hope in getting a reasonable mortgage rate.
Probably.
This economy, I'm telling you, it's brutal.
It is. Not so much anymore. Well, maybe. I don't know. Out of focus. Still out of focus. Coming back.
Sorry, everyone, for the interdimensional cutting in and out.
A better webcam. So the stinger. I'm talking about a stinger where Radcliffe is drunkenly playing a guitar. I think he's drunk. He could just be trying to play a guitar. And
he's drunk and playing a guitar to a degree of success.
And then Ada is ringing a brain.
Yes, some kind of brain.
What is this brain for?
I'm sorry. I need to say that Kakarala Actual just wrote flashback, staring at an axe, dreaming. Rockefeller BX357. Something with Bobby and Hunter, maybe. Hashtag bring them back. Flashback doodling a shotgun. Please keep the flashbacks coming. What did Mac do in his former life? Put it in the chat box. I'm dying right now. I think it was Flash Mac cooking up a really nice meal at his house with some fingerling potatoes.
Yeah, I fixed it. Keep going. Keep talking.
I mean, that's all I got.
Oh.
Maybe he had a macrame habit. Maybe he was doing some arts and crafts.
Was Hope possibly some kind?
Get
some
it? Macrame?
Yeah,
I probably said that word wrong.
You could have also. You mean macaroni?
No.
What do you mean?
I'm
Macaroon?
I'm Googling it right now.
Macaroon?
It's a thing. Macrame is totally a thing. It's like some kind of shellacking activity. Here, a form of textile making using knotting rather than weaving. Weaving a brain.
Not
macrameing a brain.
Not to put any judgment on Mac.
Here, that's what it looks like.
I don't think Mac does that.
I want to show everyone that this is macrame according to a verifiable website, wikipedia.org, which was mostly sarcasm.
As opposed to wikipedia.gov.
See, Callie said it's a thing. I'm also probably pronouncing it wrong, and for that I apologize to my constituents, but
it's all right.
They're still here after 4 seasons, so
I don't. That's good enough. So, what else? So,
let's see. We covered Senator Nadier's brother. We covered
Fitz and Simmons.
We covered
Felinda.
What is Mace up to? We covered Felinda. We covered Doctor Strange continuity.
Covered Robbie and Gabe.
We covered Robbie and Gabe.
Mac.
Thanks, Jason.
Oh, we didn't cover the fact that like Robbie's new deal about how he's going to settle whoever is possessing him, all of their scores to help settle Robbie's last score, which is getting Uncle Eli. And then apparently he's going to hell because that's a thing. Right?
Yeah. What I'm trying to get my head around is that, let's see, okay, overall, I feel that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been making improvements in its diversity and representation in the past, maybe roughly, I don't know. It feels like it's going in a new good direction. We covered Flash Max. Mac is a man who's secure in his masculinity. I don't see why he wouldn't be into it. Sorry. This is like, I don't know if this actually is going to... does the chat show up in the video that we record? I think it does, right?
On Twitch, yes.
Okay.
But if they watch it on YouTube, no.
Well, at any rate. Okay, so that means there'll be a bunch of illogical asides throughout the whole episode as we read things off the chat screen that don't show up in the final. That's fine. We have right now, I'm going to try and mentally do this. So we have men of color actors on this show. Let's just start with like this season, right? We have Mac, Robbie's brother, Gabe, Eli Morrow.
Why do you keep calling him Tio?
Because that's his name.
He's not your uncle.
That's his. I don't know. I just want to.
Do you just want a Hispanic
I want him to be
uncle?
my uncle.
You just want a Hispanic uncle.
So that's 4. Did I count right?
Yes, that's 4.
And
then
now possibly
Brother
Senator
Nadir.
Nadier's brother Nadir. Brother Nadir.
You said I could call him that earlier.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I don't remember that. We need the time loop to play to verify that.
Gosh, so many time loops. This is the wrong. We cover the wrong TV.
But I think that's everyone, right? That's all of them.
Yes.
Men of color on the show currently.
Yes.
So we have, of the men of color on the show, Mac, who was possessed by a demon temporarily. Robbie, who's of moral complexity. Gabe, who is a badass, disabled Latinx character as a protagonist role. Uncle Eli, who is probably being given less complexity right now.
Mm-hmm.
And who am I forgetting? Oh,
Brother Nadir,
who TBD. So, like, I guess someone tweeted about this and they were like, Rude, Karthik. He said illogical asides as opposed to usual. Adam, do you feel that, I don't know, is there something weird going on? Like, Mac has been possessed by something a few times, okay? And, like, Mac is still alive, so I think we're just like, Mac is alive, right? He's like the longest running black male character on this show, and he's alive.
I want to say Mac is invincible, but I feel like the moment we assume that,
Don't
something
even
bad will
speak
happen.
that into the earth. Just, I need to say a prayer over this press conference table now. Let those words never leave the mirror realm. So, because something bad will happen. But like, Mac has been, like, taken over by various things. So, like, someone was tweeting about how he got possessed by that creepy alien thing in the alien city in season 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that was, like, one loss of agency. And then, like, the ghosts came and did stuff to him, I think. And now, Ghost Rider went into his system. And I just want to say I have no complaints about Ghost Rider taking over Mac, because I thought that portrayal was so cool. Like, Ghost Rider Mac Adam was so cool.
Mac Rider.
So awesome. But, like, I do feel like this show is always, like, doing something, like the whole arc that Dr. Garner took last season of, like, I'm a lash monster now, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so...
And he was in jail for, like, half the season.
I make what you will of that. It keeps, when he was taking over by Macrame, Flash Mac. Flash Mac is becoming a tag. It's its own tag.
We did. We helped inspire a tag.
I think he was doing a Rubik's Cube one time by himself.
I thought that was Edward Stone.
I think that would be great.
So,
like, and then we have Robbie and his uncle, who are, like, some degree of, like, bad. I don't know how else to say that. And then, like, Gabe. So I guess I'm just trying to say, like, I'm very interested to see what is the direction of if the Senator Nadir's brothers character becomes a thing. I feel like they're going to leave Mac alone from now on, right?
Possibly.
They've got to leave him alone.
At least for an episode.
They've got to leave him alone. Just, like, let him live. Stop trying to inhabit him. Spirits and things. Just, like, knock it off.
He needs his hope back. So,
yeah.
I wanna go over. This is.
And then we should wrap in, like, 10 minutes.
Sure. But my favorite segment, starting to become my favorite segment since we don't do many segments anymore, even though we got an email about it, which we'll read a little bit later. What is your favorite line of the episode? I have my favorite line of the episode.
I think my favorite line of the episode was, I can't quote it exactly. Oh, dang it. I have runner-up, and then I have R.I.P. Dr. Garner. I think you are the only ones that remember him. Yes, Trey. R.I.P. Dr. Garner forever. Never going to be over it. My favorite line was Fitz saying, well, Mac became the Ghost Rider, but you can't hear us because we're ghosts now, so whatever.
Okay.
Fitz saying that. I don't remember what I said. Fitz saying that.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second favorite line was when poor Robbie was in the car with Daisy, who's just running amok driving the Charger. And he's, like, trying to tell her what to do. And she's just like, it's fine. I was like, wow, this is like looking into my life from the outside.
So
that whole scene was like, wow, that's my life. Someone tried to get through to me while I drive their car around and break things.
So all the best quotes were from Sepia Tone World, because the one I have,
Sepia Tone World.
The one I have, I think, is better than yours, which is, do we look that stupid on comms? Which is what Coulson says when he sees May on comms.
Do we look that stupid on comms? Look, we're on comms right now. Do we look stupid?
No, we're not on comms. We're on microphones. This is different.
These aren't comms.
No, comms are like ones you wear in your ear. This is a real microphone. This is wired.
Now I want to walk around with a Bluetooth earset thing and act like I'm on comms all the time.
No, you want to know what a Bluetooth headset actually is for? It's for people who are former only children to be able to talk to themselves in public and not have people look weird at them. That's the true use of a Bluetooth headset.
Cough it up, y'all, in the chat. Do you own a Bluetooth headset or not? I feel like Karthik owns one because he's a cyberpunk. I'm just going to put that out there.
Possibly. I don't know. But I think so. I think that's about it for our discussion of deals with our devils. Next week is the winter finale, so it'll be the last episode of 2016, and the episode is entitled "The Laws of Inferno Dynamics." Let's see.
That doesn't sound scientifically accurate.
So Kakarala is passing on the question of the Bluetooth.
I know.
So Mitra.
Rockefeller BX's fave. When something May said, but I can't remember.
When something Mace said, but I can't remember. Mace was very much like, I gotta call the families of the people who died today because Eli killed like 4 agents, 4 random agents.
Well, he ghosted them. They're still out there too.
Oh, the other.
They're still wandering around. They didn't get the interdimensional gateway memo.
The other possible best line of the week is from Agent May when she tells, where is it? She tells Nathanson to get lost.
Yes.
She said, "What's your name?" Nathanson. Get lost.
So great. I also liked, to Rockefeller's point, when Max said, "I know you're not okay, but are you okay?" That was like a sweet, sad, nice moment.
So, Mitra, what do you want to plug this week?
Whoa, I wasn't ready for that yet.
I said this is the end of the discussion. That's why I said the next week's episode.
You just sprang it on me.
No, you don't know how to multitask.
We need some kind of closure to get through.
I did. I said that's it for our discussion of Deals with Our Devils.
That's it?
Next week's episode is the winter finale entitled Laws of Our Inferno Dynamics. How many time loops do you need?
A lot, apparently. Let me have my time loops.
You only need
You
time
need to
loops.
bang on the dashboard and turn the turn signal so that I know that it's time to go.
All I have is a PlayStation controller. If I turn this, it doesn't do anything.
Well, I guess.
Well, no, wait.
I guess.
Hold on. While you form your plug, I am going to. We got an email this week from Callie, which I greatly appreciate.
Because we could read it on the air.
I'm going to read it on the air.
Yay! Fan mail to our Beyond the Shield podcast at gmail.com account, by the way.
Yeah.
Which we do use and check. And clearly some of you all use and check because you're great
One
viewers.
person uses. So Callie wrote, you mentioned again how this email never gets used. So I'm emailing you from my rarely used podcast email. I caught up to the Good Samaritan episode. I would love to hear more segments. Hopefully silly as possible. Also, anytime there is excited or exacerbated yelling, the show is more fun. And sorry I haven't left it in an iTunes review, but iTunes hates my ancient laptop. Thank you, Callie.
Thank you, Callie, for the email.
We will try to do more segments as soon as Mitra will put the finishing touches on her Loki impression.
I can't do a Loki impression. Let me try to do one right now.
Okay, do it live on the internet.
I was born in the darkness. It's a Bane impression. It's not the same person.
That doesn't sound like Bane nor Loki.
It's funnier to me. I don't know.
That just sounds like you high on Pop Rocks and Fruit Roll-Up.
Stop! I can't believe you said that. That was super rude.
Well, next time you have Pop Rocks.
Sometimes rude is true. Sometimes rude is true.
True. So, okay.
Are we plugging now?
Yes, Mitra, what do you want to plug this week?
Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this special episode. I'm really excited to share what I want to plug this week with you. As you may know, I am a huge fan of Sana Amanat's Miss Marvel and the Kamala Khan character. And throughout this journey in the podcast and Geeks on the Internet space, time, world, I have found some other fellow fans of Miss Marvel, as I'm sure many of you are as well. So the headline is that a new podcast is launching, featuring yours truly, myself, and also my friend Raji, who is a fellow Miss Marvel fan. And we are going to be doing a podcast that's focused on Miss Marvel and Kamala Khan, but also a lot of the same type of issues that we talk about on this podcast, like diversity, representation, and, you know, all these dynamics and how they relate to the real world as it shows up in Miss Marvel's comic series. So what you can do is, it's officially out now. It's actually brand new. It just went up today. You can go to our Twitter and give us a follow at Kamala, Kamala
Too bright. I can't see
_ cast. I'm holding my phone up to the screen in the event that you can see it.
All they see is white.
Oh, let me tilt it.
Let me do it.
So at any rate, you could go on Twitter right now and give us a follow at Kamala_cast. But check out Kamala Cast. I'm really excited about it. We've worked really hard to put together a couple of episodes right away. So you can go and check out, yes, to Jason's point, the latest part of the Mitraverse.
Why can't it be the Beyond the Shield cinematic or podcasting universe?
Well, it is technically,
Okay.
because Beyond the Shield is like my record label, okay? And I create art under this record label. But now I'm spinning off and doing my own thing under your record label.
Actually, what we should do,
So in a way, it's sort of related.
to help promote it is after the winter finale, like the week after, we could put in the podcast feed one of like the first episode of Kamala Cast.
Sure.
We'll do that.
That sounds great. That would be great. And thank you also to Adam, who is the first follower, first of all, of our Twitter account, which we created
8 months ago.
We created a Kamala Cast on Twitter like a long time ago and secretly put it up there. And then we immediately got one follower. And I said, first of all, I felt really on blast that some new person had just followed an account we made that no one's supposed to know about yet. And then I go and look on there, and it's the Adam Wells, yours truly. So thank you, Adam, for being an early sponsor of Kamala Cast. We're still going to be obviously here every week, but if you want some additional content around Ms. Marvel and Kamala Khan, all that is coming your way now and is available for listening immediately. So give us a listen. Would love to know what you think. And yeah, thanks in advance. Adam, what do you want to plug this week?
So before I get to my plug, Rockefeller BX, aka Frank, is aka Frank Castle on Twitter. That's great. And he asks, what do I think the 6th Infinity Stone will show up in? I think it'll show up in Black Panther. Now, what I want to plug this week is... Oh, there's so many good things I want to plug. I don't think I plugged the show Speechless, so I'm going to plug the show Speechless. Maybe I plugged this. If I didn't, go see Moana. It was really good. Mitra didn't see it.
I heard it was really good.
It was great.
I heard it was really
I've been listening to the music a lot. In fact, the moral of the story is, if you want to leave home, do it. You'll probably meet The Rock along the way, and he'll help you out in some way. So if you want to see a movie with that moral, go see Moana.
I had to be in a... Sorry, I cut off your plug.
It's all right. And then the show Speechless on ABC is really, really good. I'm actually really impressed by it. It stacked up on my DVR, and I watched it over our kind of hiatus, and I really liked it. Not enough to podcast about it, but I really liked it.
Yay, other people like Speechless.
Good. I'm not the only
Also,
one.
hi, aka Frank Castle. I forgot to say that earlier because I was talking.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So,
is that everything? Did we do it?
How can people find us on the internet?
Oh, doy. Okay, if you want to give us a follow, give us a follow at Beyond Shield if you're listening to this for the first time. If folks are on the Twitch that haven't followed our Twitter account yet, never too late to subscribe. So we are on Twitter at Beyond Shield. You can catch every single one of our episodes at beyondtheshieldpodcast.com. And what would be awesome is if you would go in our iTunes page, Beyond the Shield, and leave us a review. It really helps us reach more folks out here in the podcast verse. So I guess also I should say that this is our 100th episode, and many of you on here have been along for the ride for pretty much all the way, and so we do it for you, our constituents, and we love all of you very much and appreciate you so much being both live on our 100th episode podcast, but also just being on the ridiculous ride that is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and podcasting about it with us. And if you don't follow us already on Twitter, I'm at Meatbot and Adam is at the Adam Wells. Is that everywhere they can find us on the internet?
Did you do the email?
Oh, and if you want to be as cool as Callie, you could send us an email at beyondtheshieldpodcast@gmail.com, where we take a lot of fan mail and respond to different queries. And we also have a Facebook page. Shout out to Trey, who is like our #1 Facebook page interactor. Beyond the Shield Podcast on Facebook. So give our page a like too if you want. But those are all the ways you can interact with us online, including this bizarro world video game platform that all of us are hanging out on, like really normal people right now. So,
Did you talk about iTunes reviews?
yeah, I did.
Okay, I needed.
You needed a time loop?
I needed a time loop because I was doing other things. So, Agent's still trending #3. Sweet.
Yes.
Not us though. Just Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So what? Join us next week for the winter finale? Are we already at the winter finale?
Yeah. Didn't you watch? Did you have to do a time loop?
Yeah,
when we
I do
watched
need
the
a time
episode?
loop.
Okay, so next week is the winter finale of Agents of Shield. So that'll be our winter finale, as we never do off-season content. So we will be back next week with to talk about the Agents of Shield episode, Laws of Inferno Dynamics. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you want to watch me play video games here on Twitch, give me a follow. I saw a couple of you have already done so. I appreciate it. Maybe we'll get Mitra to play video games on Twitch.
If I could play No Man's Sky on Twitch.
If you bring over No Man's Sky, sure, but I'm not buying that game.
Why? What? Why not?
Because I played it and it's not good.
Well, that's a topic for another.
Have you played it?
No, it's just free-range space roaming. How could you not? Never mind. I'm gonna time loop you out of this conversation right now.
Okay.
I'm putting you in the Sapia dimension.
Here's a rant about No Man's Sky.
You're
traveling
end
in the
our
universe.
100th episode with an argument.
Yeah, I can. Of course, that's how it should end. Are you kidding me? That's the whole point of this show. So No Man's Sky is a game that is, you go to the expansiveness of the universe, but it is such a lonely game. And there was even a story, like the game was like kind of broken, sort of, when it first launched, in that like someone found a planet that someone already discovered and named. So they contacted them on PSN and said, "Hey, do you want to meet up at this planet?" And they tried to meet up and they couldn't see each other because the game was kind of like broken. Hopefully they fix it with like several updates.
So what if they were just in the Sapia realm? That's why they couldn't see each other.
They don't have the sepia tone realm.
You can blast into the side of a cavern and be in a cave with crystals in it.
No,
this game has everything I want.
Fine, then it's like $40 on PSN. Go buy it.
Well, that about does it here.
And you have a PS4.
I do, but I don't have the time for a PS4.
All right. Well, that about does it here for
I have friendships
us.
and duties, Adam.
You said duty.
I said, just take us out.
So that about does it here for Beyond the Shield, episode 100 on the Extravagant Extravaganza. Join us next week. We'll be discussing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode, Laws of Inferno Dynamics. For myself, Mitra Nelson. Until next time, folks, stay safe.
Thanks. Bye.
So that's the end of the episode.
But it's still going, right?
The Twitch is still going, but that stay safe is going to cut off like the audio recording. If people want to ask questions about non-shieldy things.
I mean, we're still here.
You're still here, but
most
I don't know
BTS
when,
ending possible.
Most BTS, yeah.
I did not know Twitch has social eating. I think that's uncommon.
Twitch has really ridiculous things. Like people will just like put their webcam on and just start drawing, and you can just watch them draw and create art. You could get on Twitch and just have people like watch you sketch.
So can I make a Twitch account if I don't? Can it just be a Twitch like? Can I just go on the website Twitch and make a Twitch account and do stuff with it, or does it have to be hooked up to a gaming platform?
No, it doesn't have to be hooked up to a gaming platform. You can just do it with like your eyesight on your Mac.
And then I could just be like, "Hey, I'm about to have a cooking show. Everyone, come watch."
You could have a cooking show. We could have done Marvel's Most Wanted Recipes.
There's no way we could have made that happen.
We totally could have. We could have made a sandwich.
Maybe if we come into some free time in the next off season, we can do.
Well, the last
Marvel's
week,
Most Wanted Recipes.
the last week, like the week after Christmas, I'm off all week.
I don't think we can turn around a cooking show in a week.
Totally could.
I don't think anyone on here would even watch Marvel's Most Wanted Recipes.
That's not true. I guarantee you, when the chat catches up, they'll totally want to watch us cook recipes from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Should we roll?
Can we talk about Marvel effing up the timeline? Yeah.
Yeah.
They are.
What happened? What happened with the timeline?
Well, because no one knows like where Doctor Strange falls.
Oh.
With the timeline.
Well, we know it happened after the incident, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but we don't know where. Like how long? I don't know. Marvel's messing up everything. Or maybe he's talking about the comics. I don't know. Rockefeller, can you expand more?
How did Sitwell know about Doctor Strange? Yes. Didn't I say this?
Oh yeah, you did
one
talk
time?
about that last year.
How does Sitwell know about Doctor Strange?
Because he didn't have
way
his powers
back in,
yet.
Whatever.
Because Rhodey hadn't had the accident.
So does that mean Doctor Strange happened? Yeah, it happened after the Avengers, but before Winter Soldier. By that timeline.
I don't know. I don't know.
right?
Yeah, Marvel isn't the best, okay?
Here's the cooking show feedback you predicted.
You'd adore it.
You getting exasperated cooking sounds like a hilarious watch, Mitra. Well, thanks.
See, I told you.
For my favorite cyberpunk, Mitra, this is just another reminder to read. Yes, I will, Callie. I'm totally going to read Moon Girl. In fact, they just announced a comic with Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, Daisy, and Kamala. It's like they saw what was happening in my life and were like, we really need to send Mitra, we need to just beam a comic into her life that's everything that she ever wanted.
Isn't like Ms. Marvel on like the X-Force or something?
Yeah, she's in All New Avengers and
Yeah.
her other stuff. Trey says I would watch you guys cook things. Oh
Told
my
you.
gosh. People would totally watch this.
I told you.
Jason says I would be concerned. You were right, Adam. Here, for the record, you were right. Jason says I would be concerned about Mitra getting exasperated with weapons close at hand. Yeah.
We'll just
That's
cook
such a good concern. This should be TVM already.
Well, it's on the internet.
For V.
And L because
See, then he was asked to fix Roddy. So like, okay, Rockefeller's totally lining up right now.
Yeah.
So somehow yes. Doesn't make any sense. Unless they like knew about him before he knew about himself, but that doesn't make any sense either.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. They thought they were slick and then, we found them out. They totally messed up the timeline.
But I can stop it.
Yeah, Callie, there's a whole comic. Look, oh my gosh, I'm going to send it to you. It's the cover art alone, and also like two of my friends, one of which is on this live stream, sent me a link to that, and it was so much I just couldn't even. So thanks everyone who informed me of that, and like I almost died. It's amazing. Are you turning off the recording?
The recording is stopped off, but the stream is still going.
Well, I actually do have to go, so thanks everyone for joining us on the stream. But if it's okay with you, I'm going to shut us down.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Much love to all of you. Talk to you all on the internets. I don't even know what that hand gesture was.
That's really weird.
Bye! You're not going to do a fun sign-off?
No. It's just going to be bye.
You're so boring.